Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Iceman and Bob. I want to state up front that this is an unofficial test. I do not have the proper equipment currently at this time to actually give proper official numbers. However, this still is a test, and this still will give us some variance and show us the difference between Filmmaker Mode and movie mode on firmware 1302 on the Samsung S95B. Now, at the time of recording this video, I encountered some more changes. I don't know what Samsung is doing. I will explain as I go along, but nonetheless, I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to show you all what I have been saying and what I have noticed, including what I've noticed with things that have just recently changed up since I have currently turned on my TV. In any case, what I want to show you all is the settings first. So we're in Filmmaker Mode, all right? And I will go ahead first, come down here and show you all that I am on firmware 1302. Let's rule that out, okay? And let me come over here and show you the power and energy saving settings. Those are turned off, okay? I will also come over here and do the same thing with movie mode, okay? And we will also, again, 1302, okay? And we will come over here, same thing. Those are off, okay? And I will go back into Filmmaker Mode, all right? And I want to show you all, I'm just gonna try to run through this quickly. I do not want this video to be too long, but I just want to show you all what I am experiencing since I've been on 1302, okay? As you can see, it's BT 1886, so obviously that is SDR content, all right? And then we will also do the same thing quickly here in movie mode, just to kind of show you all. I'm running the out of the box settings here to show you the motion. It really doesn't matter. That's a personal preference. In any case, again, BT 1886 SDR. I haven't touched the gamma. Feel free to adjust the gamma. I may show you what that will do if you need to adjust it, if you don't like your movie mode or what have you. Again, it depends on your environment. There's so many factors, so many variances depending on our use case. So let me go back and put this on Filmmaker Mode, okay? All right, so I'm here on Filmmaker Mode. I can't seem to talk properly today. All right, and this is a still picture. Now, this is an unofficial test, okay? So I have to state that. I don't have the actual equipment hooked up to the TV. I know how this should be done, but a test is a test, and I just want to show you all unofficially that I have noticed a difference, okay? So very quickly, let me come up here and come up to this portion of the screen, okay? So right now we're at 548 nits. What I'm going to do is jump from Filmmaker Mode here, okay, on the same scene. So 531, right? And then I'm gonna put it in movie mode. So do you see how it just jumped up to 687? Okay, Filmmaker Mode, it's at 561. Then it jumped to 638. So it's doing something funky. I really don't know what's going on, but I'm going to actually show you this in real time because this is a paused picture, obviously, and I want to show you all with everything moving, okay? So now that we have everything moving, and I can jump between picture modes just for you to observe. See the brightness, Filmmaker Mode, movie mode, Filmmaker Mode, movie mode. It's not a substantial difference in brightness, but it is there. Okay, Filmmaker Mode, let's get some quick measurements here. This scene's probably going to change, so I'll try to wait. 261, and then it went up to 328. Okay, let's wait till we get out of this nighttime scene. Okay, 261, 336, and then it jumped up to 413, 441, 531. Okay, I'm at 413 in movie mode. Same scene dropped down to 216. Okay. Again, 328 here in movie mode. This is a good spot. I like to pause. Let's see if I can get out of this in time. I really wanted to pause at that scene. Let's see if I can fast forward there, and looks like I'm passing it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna really bother trying to go back because I think I went past that scene. We'll do this one right here. Okay, I'll just pause here. So once again, let me go back in between the modes. I don't want to make this too long. It's already moving in time. Let's try to capture the light reflecting off the water. Okay, so in Filmmaker Mode, I'm at 666, the devil number, or a highly spiritual number, depending on where you are. Look at that, 835, okay? All right, and then when I went to movie mode, it jumped up to 953. Again, see, it dropped down to 778 this time, and it's at 947. So there is a jump. This is SDR. Let me come out of this very quickly, and let me go into HDR. Now, this is partly what I noticed when I went into, or when I powered on my TV rather, and then I went to check the HDR settings. Apparently, it looks like with HDR, oh, like that. I don't know if I can get back to that leaf. We'll just leave it here. All right, I'm doing this in real time because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to edit or do anything. So we're in HDR. Again, let me just show you all 1302. It's the firmware version. Let's come over here to the power, okay, and energy settings. Okay, they're off. Okay, so nothing tweaking here, nothing going here. All right, I'm going to switch to movie mode. All right, and same thing, 1302. We'll come over here. All of that is off. Okay, now here's the bug, or whatever happened once I powered on my TV, what I noticed. All right, I turned on my TV, and now in HDR, Filmmaker Mode and movie mode are matching each other. Okay, I'm going to quickly run through this. Again, we're in, let me just start with Filmmaker Mode to do this same way I did SDR. Okay, 50-50. I mean, colors there. Again, picture clarity is personal preference. I'm just running neutral, gamma. The color space is in BT 2020. All right. Obviously peak brightness high. That's how it's supposed to be. And then let's go into movie mode. Now, previously, as I was explaining on AVS forums and my previous experience, even in HDR, movie mode was brighter. Now, I don't know what's going on, but movie mode with the same settings basically is exactly the same brightness as Filmmaker Mode. It's not more dim. So for those of you possibly saying it's more dim, that could be. But what I'm seeing previously, movie mode in HDR was brighter, just like it was brighter in SDR. Now, all of a sudden, it's matching Filmmaker Mode. And I've heard some of you say that that's exactly what it's doing, especially those of you that have tested. That makes sense. So I don't know if it's just something happened with updating and some settings didn't update with my TV, but in any case, let's actually pull up some content, or I'll show you the measurements first. All right, so we're in Filmmaker Mode. Didn't mean to do that. We're in Filmmaker Mode. Let's just find a section here. Okay, I'm at 25. Okay, still at 25, no changes. Filmmaker Mode, 25, movie mode 25. Exactly the same. Now let's go to standard. Just it's at 33 now. It's just, wait a minute, was that actually a change? Or is it just because of where I am on the screen? I know how this is properly supposed to be done. Trying to be very still here. No change. Let's go to standard just to show you all. Obviously it jumped up to 160. And then dynamic, there really is no change, other than the colors and the image, but no brightness change. Okay, let's go back down to movie. There we at 25, and same thing, 25. I'm gonna do this very quickly just to play the actual content, okay, because I want people to see we're in Filmmaker mode. I'm going to back out of this. Let's go ahead and play this content. Didn't mean to do that. Again, I'm doing this in real time so that you all can see this. Okay, so I'm going to go back and jump between Filmmaker and movie mode. 261. This is a moving. Okay. See, no change, but both were registered 96.0. Okay, 2. Moving panning shots are very hard to capture because obviously the location is changing. This might not be the best example here, but an example is better than none. See, they both were saying 328. This is a panning shot, so again, it's hard, but you can visually see, if you look at the screen, there is no change here. And this matches what many of you are experiencing that have said you see no brightness change between Filmmaker mode and movie mode. After I turned on my TV and powered it on to record this content, that's exactly what happened. But previously, before me turning this on to capture this content, it was showing everything where movie mode was brighter, just like it did in SDR, and Filmmaker mode was more dim. So at the very least, I would say that this is what most of you should be experiencing, where it is the same brightness. It should not be more dim in movie mode than Filmmaker mode on 1302. If it is, you possibly want to check your settings. And one thing that I will do, let me come out of this. I actually like that scene. I want to show you all something. If it is more dim, for instance, right? Okay, this is a good scene. So let's say it is more dim. You're like, oh, okay, it sucks. Something you can do very quickly. And let me go and do it this way. All right. Let's say you like to watch it in movie mode and it is more dim, right? You always can bump the gamma up. Okay, it depends on your location. Now the camera here is showing blooming, it's not there. Okay, oftentimes the gamma could be bumped up +2 as well as the shadow detail. Okay, and to show you the difference, because I bumped the gamma up between that and Filmmaker mode, you can see the difference here. See how much more bright it is? So I'm only providing this as, I know this is not a fix, but only a temporary alternative where you could bump that up depending on your environment to give you more, okay? And it's supposed to be closer to being accurate now that they did this update, but we'll see what's what. I just want to show you all this portion. I'm gonna have some more content where, again, I will show you different content in real time. All right, I want to show you all some footage, again, on firmware 1302 on the Samsung S95B. First in SDR, so I will be comparing Filmmaker mode to movie mode, and then I will switch over to HDR, all right? So very quickly, we are in Filmmaker mode. I will once again show you all 1302 is the current firmware version, all right? I will show you all that we do not have any power and energy saving settings on. Okay, I will also do the same thing in movie mode because I know that this TV does some weird things with changing up settings. So once again, you see we're in 1302. Okay, no energy saving settings on. Okay, and then I will quickly, once again, run through the settings. I will start with Filmmaker Mode and then go into Movie Mode. Okay, so very quickly, I don't want to spend a lot of time in this. I'm just going to go through. Obviously, picture clarity settings are for your particular preference. Okay, BT 1886, so that's SDR. I'm not touching the gamma, so everything is set at 0. Peak brightness at medium. And then we will also quickly go through this with movie mode. All right, I'm just gonna quickly go through this. Again, picture clarity settings, custom. That's to my liking. You can change it as you wish. Okay, again, BT 1886, everything set at 0 regarding gamma, and peak brightness also at medium. Okay, so we're going to in Filmmaker Mode, and then what I'm going to do is I will hit play and then just show you the difference, and I will jump around through several different HDR content sources. Okay, all right. Okay, did y'all see the brightness difference? Filmmaker Mode, movie mode. And again, this is SDR content. We'll go into this face here, and then I will go ahead and pull up something else. Okay, y'all can really see the brightness when you look at the reds. Or actually, I'll do this face as well, and then I'll stop here. Okay, so movie mode is showing more bright than Filmmaker Mode, at least on my particular panel. All right, so I'm gonna get out of this, and I'm going to attempt to pull up go ahead and mute this because I don't want anything to come through. Let's see what I can get here on YouTube TV. I'll try to pull up like maybe some news or something. Okay, so here's some news. Let's try to switch between the modes here. Okay, y'all see the brightness increase. Welcome to my local forecast. It's gonna be raining, including today. See the brightness increase? What in the world? What in the world? What is going on? Really? And we will end here with the lottery numbers. Obviously, you see I'm here in Georgia. Okay, so I'm gonna back out of this because I don't want to possibly get a copyright strike. We'll pull up Sling TV, and then I'll pull up some HDR content. Okay. I really... I'm trying my best to avoid a copyright strike. So let me try to pull up something that, okay, they're covering this hearing right now. So let's mute this. So did y'all see initially too how blurry it was until the signal came through? This is where some people say, oh, it's horrible. The upscaling's horrible on the S95B. It depends on the quality of the content, and it depends on your internet and the bit rate. There's a lot of factors, but you saw how it cleared up. But that's not what the point of this video is. It's to see SDR content brightness. So, okay, see, we went from Filmmaker mode to movie mode. And it's not a huge brightness difference. Obviously you can see it, but it's there, okay? So let me get out of this. I just wanted to show you all some SDR content because not many people do that. All right. And now we will pull up some HDR content, okay? All right, so we will... Let's show you this video is good here. All right, and let me hit pause for a second, show you the settings once again in real time. We are in Filmmaker mode. Again, we're on 1302. I'm not doing any editing because I don't want anyone to say I'm doing something behind the scenes. So I'm showing you all of this in real time. No power and energy saving settings turned on. Okay. At least for Filmmaker mode. Let's go into movie mode. Same thing. Okay. You see the firmware version. You see the energy save settings. Now, I will remind you all, as I said in the beginning of this video, I don't know what happened when I turned on my TV to capture this footage, but somehow, some way, something weird have happened and went on. I don't know, but it made movie mode and Filmmaker mode now match each other in terms of brightness in HDR, but in SDR, movie mode is still brighter. So I don't know, maybe if I keep turning my TV on and off, perhaps it may match. I don't know what's going on, but something weird is definitely going on. And I just want to document this and let you all see this, okay? So let me go into Filmmaker mode first, as I did before. I want to follow the same format, okay? So I don't want to spend a lot of time on settings. You can pause the video, run it back. You see it's ST2084, so obviously that's HDR, as I said. I'll show you the color space. I'm running BT 2020. Okay, obviously peak brightness is supposed to be on high. And then let's go into movie mode. Again, I'm running, same setup here. See the gamma, it's the same. Again, color space, BT 2020. All right, so let me back out of this now, and I'm gonna show you first on this paused picture here. You're not seeing any difference. And this is what many of you are reporting. However, I would like to say, I'm not sure. I know people are saying this, but I'm not sure if they've actually tested this or have actually really confirmed this. And I'm not denying that they aren't having that experience, because I'm having a crazy experience myself. But what I'm seeing is exactly the same. And I've heard many of you say that now on 1302, movie mode and Filmmaker mode match. And what I'm seeing here in HDR, this is exactly what I'm getting. So I do want to confirm that. Now, previously, before I powered on my TV, movie mode was brighter even in HDR, just as it was in SDR. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna play the video. You're not gonna see any difference here. Let me come out of this and just play this video here. It's some really good content. Okay, you see the HDR logo here in movie mode. I'm just gonna pull it up this way so I can easily switch. But again, you're not going to see any difference. And just for reference, you can see a difference when I go into standard. Again, no difference. Again, no difference. So I'm going to, I'll leave it in Filmmaker mode, follow the same format. And for the record, while I'm playing this content, let me do this. Actually, let me come out first. I want to show you all something. For those of you that are like, oh man, movie mode sucks. It's not as bright as it previously was. Let me back it up. There's a scene I want to show you all. Okay, so right here, I'm in movie mode in HDR. And if you don't think that this is bright enough, you can do this just like with SDR, all right? You can come down here depending on your environment and increase this. Okay, see how that brighten up the image? You can increase the gamma, and you can even increase the shadow detail. And now it's more bright. And now when I switch between movie mode and Filmmaker mode, okay, you see the difference that that makes? Previously, it was matching Filmmaker mode. So if you need a little bit more oomph, perhaps for a brighter environment, there you have it. Okay, but I'm going to go back and change this. I just want to show you that difference. And again, I want to reiterate, prior to me turning on the TV to capture this footage, I don't know what happened, but now in HDR, as I've been saying, movie mode and Filmmaker mode match in brightness. There is no movie mode is more dim than Filmmaker mode. Okay, and that's what many of you have discovered. Now, it's not to say that that isn't your actual experience. Okay, I'm not here to refute people's experiences, but I would just say check it and see, because even with mine doing crazy things, it actually matches. And that's what many of you have said. Now movie mode looks just like Filmmaker mode. So it should not be more dim in movie mode versus Filmmaker mode, unless you're comparing movie mode on 1211 to 1302. And I do have footage of movie mode on 1211, and I could compare that to 1302, but people will jump on me and say, oh, this was captured at a different time and all of that. So that's why I didn't even bother to do it. I could show you the comparison in brightness, but that's another conversation for another day. Let's pull up, we'll show this quick video here. Again, you're not going to see any difference in brightness between the two modes now. They should be exactly the same. And just for reference, they're standard. So you see, in my personal opinion, both modes look plenty bright. I prefer watching things in Filmmaker mode, but maybe because I'm more of on that purist side, it doesn't bother me. Only in certain content, maybe I would have to increase the brightness. You can by all means do as you will and as you wish. This is my personal preference. I think it's still plenty bright. That's just my personal opinion, unless you're watching some of the darkest of dark content. And it depends on your use case and what you do. All of us are different. You know, do as you will, as you please. Let's just pull up these faces. Let's run it back real quick. Speaking of dark content, this might be a good example here. All right, I'm gonna go into the settings, and then we'll even do standard just in comparison. So there you go. And here you go for a brighter environment. I know people say it sucks. It's a personal preference. I understand numbers and the EOTF tracking and all of that. However, there are things you can do to get it similar to that brightness. Okay, so Gonna go back in movie mode if it's too dark. I'm only doing this not to justify what Samsung has done, but I'm only doing this to give us an alternative, okay? During the meantime, while we're waiting for another firmware update or what have you, okay? So check this out. So I'm gonna go from movie mode into standard. Yes, it's still more bright, but this is still brighter than Filmmaker Mode if you bump the gamma up. And then there's other things you can do, but this is going to start to distort the picture. Many of you know that. I know this is not the point of this video, but you see if I turn contrast enhancer on low, okay, you can turn it on high if you need to, but let's just turn it on low and then let's compare it. See how now you're almost in that same ball game as standard, but you don't have the blown out colors. Okay. Look at Filmmaker Mode, dark. Okay, there's your brightness. All right. I know contrast enhancer starts to alter the accuracy, but I'm just giving people a quick comparison that they can do with trying to combat the loss of brightness until we get another update here, okay? Didn't mean to do that. Let's change this back. And again, you will not see a brightness difference. Let's come all the way out so I can. Actually, let's just look at another video. And let's take a look at these here. Run it back. You see it's HDR, okay? So we'll just switch. And I do standard, obviously that's blown out. Dynamic is as well, but I just did it just for the heck of doing it. So at the very least, most of you that are saying movie mode and Filmmaker Mode match, this is what I'm seeing now. But I did not see this prior to me recording this content. Again, I don't know what's going on. I know many of us have experienced settings that have been changed on the fly, or when we do certain things, come in things and come out. You know, there's a lot of things that have been happening. So I don't know what's going on. This is the weirdest experience I've had. All the other firmware updates have gone by the numbers. And I was previously on version 1098. And then I jumped from there. I skipped 1204 and I jumped to 1211.2. That was my previous version. And then here we are. Okay, so I'm going to pretty much end this video here. That's what I'm finding. Again, I have to state, I previously did see a brightness difference going from movie mode and Filmmaker Mode. Okay, movie mode was brighter previously until I powered on this TV to capture this footage. All right, it's still brighter in SDR in movie mode, but I don't know what's going on with HDR. And no telling, maybe the next time that I turn on my TV again, maybe in SDR, the brightness will match. So nonetheless, I would say for most people, you're probably going to be experiencing the brightness matching Filmmaker Mode and movie mode. There should be a match. And according to my unofficial measurements earlier, and even off camera, that's what I've seen. Now, many of you have actually officially measured this, and this is what you have also seen. I've seen some of your comments on AVS forums as well. I do appreciate all this hard work that you all have been doing. Please let me know what you think. This whole Samsung thing is definitely a roller coaster ride, to say the least. I highly suspect that they will issue an update, an official, should I say, firmware update to fix this, one way or the other. Because this is the only firmware version that has not officially been released on their website. As I've been saying, I've linked their website on my videos and I've done it in comments and all of that. So 1302 never hit their website. So that was not an official release, and some people still are getting it. And then most people say they can't get it anymore. there's no telling what's going on. We may never know. But I'm just documenting this. I'm showing you all my experience, which is even crazier in HDR because I just had it change up on me. And now they match. So I prefer, obviously, to have that freedom and that option in movie mode. But I like Filmmaker Mode. So for me, it's not too much of a detriment, but I can understand how many of you all, depending on the environment and us not being disclosed about this update and all of that, I actually do understand why many of you are frustrated. But I will say, just hold on before you get rid of your TV and do all of that, because most likely after Game Pass drops, they're going to issue an update, which will be in 2 days. So at the end of June, at the time of this video, June of 2022, Game Pass should be out. And then they most likely for July will actually have an official update. The one that I thought was supposed to be coming, but then they threw this 1302 out and it was unofficial. So I don't know, y'all. This is just documented experience. I appreciate you all taking time to watch this video, listen. Thank you for listening to me rant and go on with it. It's not the best thing, but I'm personally okay with it because I like Filmmaker Mode. And me, my wife, and kids, and guests, and family members, we have no problems watching pretty much 98, 99% of content in Filmmaker Mode. I know many of you say, oh, it's too dark. Again, my environment, I have 4 windows and a door window. And I have tons of lights that could be on in this room. So I'm in the worst lighting environment. I'm not in some blacked out room with no windows, some home theater. I'm in a very bright room. And in Filmmaker Mode, at least with my panel, it's fine. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my eyes. Maybe that's just my family eyes. It's fine. But I do understand how it can have been a detriment and change things for you all. But just hold tight. I'm sure Samsung will issue another firmware update. This should fix it. Because I've heard mixed things too on their QLEDs with 1302 hitting them and it fixing some things, but it messed up some things on the S95B. And that has happened also with some of their previous firmware versions where something meant to fix something on the S95B has messed up something on their other Samsung TVs and vice versa. So just hang tight, y'all. I know it sucks, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I've talked long enough. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, I kindly ask that you do so. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. I'm just trying to keep it 100. Yes, 100 for the politically correct. And just give you my experiences. And you can feel free to do as you will with them. And hopefully Samsung will see this and see our conversations about this and they can see the changes that it made. I know they're beta testing on us, but because we're early adopters. In any case, it is what it is. So I'm getting out of here. We can talk in the comment section. We can talk on ABS forums. I thank you all. It's nothing but love. I thank you all for what you do. I thank all your comments, all of your input. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Please remember that. Try not to get frustrated. There are a lot of other things for us to be stressed out about. And I'm sure this issue will get fixed, as Samsung is not a brand, at least with the S95B so far, and their latest models to take 6 months or a year to issue one firmware update. So they've been rolling these out monthly. So I'm sure we're vastly approaching July and that should be there. I'm getting out of here. Y'all know what to do. And as I always say, until we stream again.